Welcome, YouTube.
Hello, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another in our series of looking at classes of Daggerheart.
Today we are going to deep dive on the new Brawler class.
Brawler!
It's a newer class that I don't think is fully 100% implemented yet, but they did add it to Demiplane, so we're going to check it out. If you don't know us, I'm Jmart.
I'm Sassy Cat.
We are a couple content creator where we've been streaming mostly TTRPGs, including a D&D campaign called the Hollow Cycle, which is a custom campaign I made up. That we play every Tuesday, and we're going to be doing a Daggerheart one every Monday called the Skyroot Saga,
Which is
another
also a custom campaign. Super exciting.
Yeah, so make sure you like, comment, and hit that bell notification to let you know whenever we are on doing one of those. Other than that, we're going to be doing a series on Daggerheart because I think Daggerheart sounds awesome.
Yep. We were very excited to try it out and learn it. We have a nice crew that wants to kind of learn it with us, so. But let's jump into the Brawler.
So it looks like they go off the Bone and Valor domains, which the Bone is a domain of tactics and body. Practitioners of this domain have an uncanny control over their own physical abilities and an eye for predicting the behaviors of others in combat. Adherent to Bone gain an unparalleled understanding of bodies and their movement. Are they the only Bone? No, Rangers are Bone as well.
Bone as well. Also,
so is Warrior.
They scale off of Valor too, and Valor is the domain of protection. Whether through attack or defense, those who choose this discipline channel formidable strength to protect their allies in battle. Valor offers great power to those who raise their shields in defense of others. Oh, I wonder if there's going to be a tank subclass.
Well, I'm assuming Brawler's going to be like a monk, so I'm assuming they're going to be able to be like a tank.
Okay.
Raising their shield, that'd be interesting if they actually use shields or not, but so they have a starting evasion of 10 and starting hit points of 6.
Okay. So this is a play-tested character because his content is part of the Void. So their class items, they have hand wraps from a mentor or a book about your secret hobby.
Ooh.
Nice. I don't want anybody to know about my secret hobby.
So they get
I like to collect paper clips.
Brawler Hope feature is Staggering Strike. Spend 3 hope when you hit an adversary to also deal them a stress and make them temporarily.
That's just the kitties.
They rolled bad on their stealth.
Yes, they did.
And make them temporarily staggered. While staggered, all attack rolls they make are at disadvantage.
Okay.
Man, but here's like the one thing that's tough to me. So you're going to spend 3 hope.
Yes.
To make an adversary to also deal them stress and make them temporarily staggered. That's crazy to me, though, that I don't know if I like that. Because you're telling me I spend 3 hope and the DM can use 1 fear to remove that stagger?
Well, how many stress does a enemy take before becoming vulnerable? You're still marking a stress.
Yeah.
And you waste one of their fears to take that stagger off if they choose to.
I guess.
And we've noticed when a DM runs out of fear, they're kind of very limited on what they can do. So, but yeah, 3 hope does seem kind of big.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. Want to go to the class feature?
Yep. I am the weapon. While you don't have any equipped weapons, your evasion has a +1 bonus. Your unarmed strikes are considered a melee weapon. Use the trait of your choice and deal D10 plus D6 physical damage. Both dice scale with your proficiency.
Wow.
So that's if they're unarmed.
Yeah.
So you have a +1 to your evasion, and you deal a D10 plus a D6, so you can deal up to 16 plus your proficiency. If you rolled.
Both dice scale with your proficiency. That seems really high. That's pretty good. And you can choose any thing it scales off of you want. So if you wanted to go off presence or instinct or knowledge, you could have it scale off of that.
So you would have to choose that in the beginning of making the brawler of what your proficiency is under.
Interesting. combo strikes. After making a damage roll with a melee weapon, but before dealing the damage to the target, mark a stress to start a combo strike. When you do, roll the combo die and note its value. Then roll your combo die again. If the value on the second die is equal or greater to the first roll, continue rolling until the latest combo die roll is less than the roll that preceded it. Total all roll values and add that amount to your weapon's damage.
What?
Your combo dice
You could just keep on like domino effect as long as you're rolling over?
Sounds so cool. Your combo die starts at D4. When you level up once per tier, you may use your advancement options to increase your combo dice instead. So
what if you tie it up? You roll a 4 and a 4.
I think it said equal or greater than your roll.
If the value of the second die is equal to or greater than your first roll, continue rolling. And you keep adding that to your damage.
So it was like...
Yeah, like...
Dude, that's cool. I like that. That's neat.
Oh, I like the name of the Juggernaut.
Yeah, Juggernaut or martial
For your subclasses, yeah.
You want to go to the background questions?
Yeah, answer any of the following background questions. You can also create your own. Where did you spend time during your formative years that taught you directly or indirectly how to fight in the style you use? What group or organization has always had your back, and how did you get in their good graces? Who did you lose a fight to long ago that you're desperate for a rematch against?
Connections. Ask your fellow players these questions. What is the one thing we're both afraid of? I rely on you for something important. I rely on you for something important during our travel together. What is it and how do you feel about it? I still haven't forgiven you for something you said to me. What was it and why did you say it? All right.
All right, here's the Juggernaut. Love that name. So, you are a powerhouse for your foundation feature. Increase the D10 damage dice of your unarmed attack to D12s.
Wow. Already seems so strong.
Wow. And you can also overwhelm. On a successful attack, you can spend a hope to force the target to mark a stress. Want to do specialization feature?
Yeah, sorry. I'm just kind of reading it again. Spend a hope to... Okay, so you're basically just...
You're trying to stress out your adversary, it sounds like.
Specialization feature. Rugged. Gain a permanent +3 to your severe damage threshold. So, that's nice.
So is that... When it says +3 to your severe damage threshold, does that mean you're in major longer before hitting severe, or is that you can't be double severed?
It just means you're in the other one longer. Yeah, okay. You can still be double severed, but eye for an eye. When you mark more than one hit point from an attack in melee range, the attacker must make a reaction roll. On a failure, once per rest, they may immediately mark the same number of hit points in return. Wow. So you're basically...
You hit me for 3, I'm going to hit you for 3.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
And 14 is pretty high reaction roll, too, so that's pretty good.
So you have your mastery features. Pummeljoy. I love that name. Whenever you roll a critical success on a weapon attack against an adversary in melee range, you gain an additional hope, clear an additional stress, and add +1 to your proficiency for the attack. And if you're not done yet, is your other mastery feature. When you mark more than one hit point from an attack, you may gain a hope or clear a stress. That's pretty big.
Oh, yeah. That's huge. Martial artists is their other one. So they get a martial form. Take the martial form sheet. You start with 2 martial stances from tier 1. Then, when you reach a new tier, take 2 additional stances. Are we going to be able to see the stances? Focus. Mark a stress to place a number of focus tokens on this card. Up to the value of your instinct, so a minimum of 1. Spend a focus to activate or shift into a stance. It lasts until you mark your last hit point. You take the severe damage, the scene ends, or you shift into another stance.
So it's like you have amount of focus.
Oh, the stances are down here.
Okay.
So go ahead with the
Specialization features.
Yeah.
You have keen defenses. When you are targeted by an attack, you can spend a focus to make the adversary's attack roll use a d12 instead of a d20. And you get that focus by your foundation feature, it looks like.
Yeah.
Marking the stress. So it looks like you really want to have instinct with this subclass then. You would want that probably
for
be
the
plus
subclass,
2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You also have Spirit Blast. You spend a focus to make an attack roll using instinct against an adversary within close range. On a success, you deal d20 plus 3 magic damage using your proficiency and can spend an additional focus to make them temporarily invulnerable. Holy cow.
Is that the Kamehameha?
Right. I can just imagine.
Mastery feature, Limit Break. Limit Break. After rolling your damage from a melee attack, you may spend a focus to shift the value of all damage dice by +1. On any dice that already landed on their maximum, roll an additional damage die instead. Wow.
Wow. Brawler seems like pretty big deeps.
Yeah. Seems like both stances are. They're just different kind. Right?
Yeah. Here are your stances that you can put yourself into, which seems like it was only in the second subclass.
Yeah. That was
okay. What was that one called again?
Martial Artist.
Martial Artist. So these are your stances. You can have a brutal stance. When you roll the maximum value on a damage die, roll an additional damage die. Ooh. You can have defensive. Attack rolls against you have disadvantage unless the adversary marks a stress. Grappling. On a successful attack, you can spend a focus to make the target temporarily restrained.
Okay.
Want to do the other 3?
Sure. Steady. Plus or gain a -1 penalty to your evasion, but when you deal damage on a successful attack, roll an additional damage dice and drop the lowest. Okay, so it's kind of like getting taking the higher damage. Okay, I can see it. Precise, gain a +1 to your attack rolls. Or quick, when you make an attack roll, spend a focus to include an additional target within range. Okay, that's cool. Let's go almost like AoE-ish.
So with these tier 1 stances, moving back up for a second.
I don't think we need to go over the other ones, because I think that's when you level.
Your martial form. I was trying to see how the stances connect to that martial form now that we know what it is.
Correct. Yeah.
So you start with 2 martial stances from tier 1. So you only get to pick 2 of those stances you want to utilize with that character.
Oh, that's it, period.
When you reach a new tier, take 2 additional stances at your tier
or lower. Okay, so you can't swap mod or anything. No. So you just have to pick
So you're building up stances, it looks like. That's why I wanted to look back at that.
Okay. Then mark a stress to place a number of focus tokens on this card up to the value of your instinct. Spend a focus to activate or shift into a different stance.
And the way you build focus, you mark a stress to place a number of focus tokens equal to your instinct. Instinct would be so important to have if you're doing this subclass. And then you have to spend a focus to activate or shift into a different stance.
And it lasts until your last hit point takes severe damage.
Or the scene ends. Or you shift into another stance.
Interesting.
It's almost like a dance.
Yeah.
A martial dancer.
I personally think the Juggernaut sounds cooler.
I don't know. I kind of like this one.
All right. Well, we can make that.
Yeah.
We want to make that one?
Yeah, let's make the martial form one.
All right.
Martial artist.
So, choose a subclass. Martial artist. So, we're going to pick 2 martial forms. What do we want to pick? How do we want to make this?
All right. Martial form 1. I think I just want to make it like big deeps, man. So, let's make the 2 stances I want to know. When you roll the max value on a damage die, roll an additional damage die. Let's be brutal. Brutal.
Okay. I agree. I say brutal and quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just big, quick, brutal attacker.
Yes.
Set your traits.
Instinct definitely +2.
Yeah, instinct 2, presence 1, knowledge -1, or presence 0, -1 knowledge, +1 strength, +1 agility. That looks right to me.
Yeah, that looks like it would be what I would go with.
Would I though go maybe +1 finesse over strength?
What's strength used for?
So strength is used for lifting, smashing, and grapple, but
We weren't choosing the grappling, but I don't know if other stances we might.
finesse is control, hide, and tinker. Well, I think we are going more brutal, so I think strength would be right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, choose our starting weapons. Come on, the arcane gauntlets, right? No, that's.
Are we choosing
strength.
any weapons?
Can you?
I thought we wanted no weapons.
Are we doing unarmed? Is it the unarmed one though?
Yeah, I think they both are. I think that's just part of the
part
class.
of the class. But don't we want to have weapons just in case?
Yeah.
Or is there wrap?
There's a reason why we get to pick 2, so I'm guessing.
Is there a wrap thing?
Let's look. She's starting weapons. Wrap. Let's see wrap.
Well, would it hurt to have like
I would say a range weapon.
A range, like I said, like a returning blade. That's finesse. We chose not to do finesse. So what about a what's glowing rings? Trait agility. Two-handed. We have rings on our finger that we possibly or is it glowing rings like you toss rings? Like a boomerang type thing.
I think if you toss rings, I think that is technically what the ranger uses.
That's like made it a boomerang. What are hand runes? That's instinct. We have some runes on our hands. Do some more damage.
Wonder if those would count though.
Like against being unarmed?
Yeah. I almost think if it doesn't, I think we'd almost just want to pick 2 range kind of weapons. Like here's a returning, that's finesse though. Man, I almost think I would want to go finesse, honestly, instead of the strength.
Think so?
Because I think I would want to take like the returning blade.
Yeah, I was thinking returning blade.
And they suggest a quarterstaff, but what does a quarterstaff do? Quarterstaff is instinct. Oh, it goes off instinct. Yeah, so that would.
It's like your two-handed monk.
But still, why would you use that over just your bare knuckles?
Maybe there's a situation that plays with it. If they like, you just have it on your back, and maybe
because your bare knuckles do 1d10 plus 6, so it does more if you just use. Yeah, I would almost just want to go. Go
back to set traits.
No, yeah. I'd rather go set traits. I'd rather go.
Set of strength, finesse.
Yeah.
And just be. That still put me at a. Oh, how come I didn't reset?
Oh.
Well, moving on.
Yeah. Either way.
Either way.
Not that important, but I think I'd rather go finesse, and then I think I would choose that weapon and the grappler. Both are finesse. On attack, you can successfully pull the target into your melee range.
Yeah, so that'd be cool. That chain.
Yeah. So I think grappler and
then for having a range.
Yeah.
The returning that I'm for that. We can choose those two.
And starting armor, you'd probably want to be.
We want to be quick. So leather armor, right?
Yeah.
Because doesn't that give you?
That armor still confuses me.
Yeah, we'll have to definitely read more on the armor.
Starting inventory doesn't really matter. Domain,
I'm going to do my book of secret hobby.
Heck yeah, you are.
I collect paper clips.
All right, so take your domain deck cards.
Okay.
Bare bones, first
So
one.
it tells you if you're valor or bone, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Bare bones is the first one. When you choose not to equip armor,
Yeah.
you have a base armor score of +3 to your strength.
Oh, there's strength.
And use the following
Yeah.
as your base damage tiers. Well, maybe we just choose something else.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Yeah.
wear armor.
Maybe we do.
That is
wear
pretty
armor.
good, though.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It changes your tiers.
Go ahead and read the next.
Death maneuvers. Once per rest, mark a stress to sprint anywhere within far range without making an agility roll to get there. If you end this movement within melee range of an adversary and immediately make an attack against them, gain a +1 bonus to the attack roll. Oh, that's so good.
That's so good.
So good. You can just pshoom, then you go.
Forceful push. Make an attack with your primary weapon, which would be your hands, against a target within melee range. On a success, you deal damage and knock them back to close range. On a success with hope, add a d6 to your damage.
Definitely can spend a hope to make them temporarily vulnerable.
Oh, you can take Iron Your Shield with this one. Even though I don't think you get the armor, you'd probably not want to do that, but...
I am your shield. When an ally within very close range would take damage, you can mark a stress to stand in the way and make yourself the target of the attack instead. When you take damage from this attack, you can mark any number of armor slots. So, I didn't realize you take a stress and armor when you do that.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be for this build.
Mm-hmm.
I see it coming. When you're targeted by an attack made from beyond melee range, you can mark a stress and roll a d4 to gain a bonus to invasion equal to the result of the oncoming attack.
Okay. Untouchable. That's something we've seen before. Gain a bonus to your evasion equal to half your agility.
So it was 1. Does it round up?
Wait, and so what's the 1 on the top left mean? Gain a bonus to your evasion equal to half your agility.
Yeah, I don't know, because our agility is 1, but I don't know if it rounds up. I think I personally would take forceful push and death maneuvers.
Yeah, definitely if we're deciding to equip armor.
Yeah.
Death maneuvers sounds so cool. And the forceful push. Agreed. For our big damage martial artist.
So I think that's it for Brawler then.
I know. They have the 2 interesting subclasses there. You had your Juggernaut and you had your martial artist. Juggernaut felt like, what do you feel like Juggernaut felt more like? In your face, lots of pummeling.
The way I think of it is, it's almost like what I was talking about. Yeah, it'd be almost like your boxer, like going in just boom, 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 and while the martial arts seems like the dancer,
like a heavyweight boxer, right? Yeah. The Juggernaut, and then martial artist was more that flowy, weave in and out, dance type martial art, like making it a dance. Yeah,
100%.
Very cool.
So, if you enjoyed, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions or any corrections,
we are learning also. This whole series is us learning Daggerheart. Our whole campaign of the Skyroot Saga is going to be a learning campaign for us to really dive into this new way of gameplay for a TTRPG, right?
Yeah.
And so super excited about it.
Yeah, so we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Bye, guys.